It's Friday, August 14th, 2020. Welcome back to the Nerd National Communication Center. I'm Mike, and I want to bring you the EV news. In this edition, car sales are down in California, including EVs. The promise of solid-state batteries might be getting more real. Gigafactory Texas, because everything's bigger in Texas. And last of all, have you seen the gorgeous dash on the Cadillac Lyriq? As we jump into this week's EV news, just a little bit of channel admin. I'm going to be doing EV news every 2 weeks. It's going to be the second and fourth Saturdays of each month. And I'm going to be flip-flopping that and doing tech news on the first and third Saturdays of the month. I need to free up a little bit of time. I'm a college prof at San Jacinto Community College, and I'm getting ready to go back to work. So I can't do 2 news videos on a Friday. So I hope you're enjoying these, but let's jump in. So first up, over at Inside EVs, we've got an article about the electric car sales in the first half of 2020. As you can imagine, sales are down because of COVID. Let's dig into the details a little bit of this. Battery electric vehicle sales are down 13% and have a market share of 5.8, as opposed to overall car sales dropped by 27% year over year. Battery electric vehicles dropped 13%. If we look at the overall market share here in orange, you can see that, here in blue, that battery electric vehicle sales are going up. Hybrid have flattened out and plug-in hybrid are going down, and I think this is attributable to the better quality and options with battery electric vehicles. So things are still expanding in the California market. It's just, as with COVID, all things are slowing down. Now, interestingly, in the subcompact segment, the Chevrolet Bolt is the best-selling battery electric vehicle in California, and of course near luxury, the Tesla Model 3. And in the luxury, now remember, this is all vehicles, so the Tesla Model S is number 3 in the luxury market, competing against, of course, ICE vehicles. So interesting news. It's mixed news, but it's mostly good, and of course California is leading the way with this. All right, so we've periodically seen these articles all the time talking about the promise of a breakthrough game-changing technology in batteries. So here is yet another one, but this one looks a little more substantial. Solid Power thinks it can start selling solid-state batteries in 2021. Now I should put an asterisk on the end of that because they're talking about for non-auto applications. It could be as early as next year. For automobile applications, they're saying 2026, 2027 time frame. The benefits of a solid state electrolyte is you don't have the fire hazard. They're also saying they're going to have a higher energy density. The other thing they're talking about is the manufacturing steps are going to be very similar to standard lithium-ion manufacturing processes. Solid Power is claiming a minimum of 50% energy density, maybe as much as 100%. Who knows? But seeing this stuff get more real is encouraging. The other major thing that we're seeing with this battery is the solid state electrolyte is much more resistant to heat. So a solid state solution with the removal of that volatile and flammable liquid has a much higher upper limit for safe operation, and as such does not require a cooling system at the pack level, which is going to further reduce the cost of battery packs. Hopefully, we'll see some of this coming in the next couple years. We'll see what Tesla has to say at their Battery Day event that is supposed to be, I believe, September 22nd. Over at Electrotech, I've got an article about Rivian getting closer to production. I'm not going to go into great detail here. There's nothing earth-shattering in this article. They're setting up their assembly line. And the biggest question is, can they sell this pickup truck and compete in price against the price that Tesla has said for the Cybertruck? So we will see. But within the next 2 or 3 years, of course, we're going to have 3 or even 4 different electric pickup trucks on the market. All right, next up is an article at Electrotech talking about Tesla paid almost $100 million for the Gigafactory land in just outside of Austin, Texas. So we've got this picture right here, and you can get an idea of the size of the different factories they have bought, the land they bought, and it is bigger. But here's a spoiler. I found another picture, and the Giga Nevada is actually larger. But having all this land is going to allow them to expand. There is a YouTube channel out there that you can check into, and I'll just play a little bit of this video. And they're actually moving dirt at the Terafactory in, I guess you can't call it the Gigafactory. We got to call it the Terafactory because everything's bigger in Texas.
Hey, it's Randy. Welcome back. In this video, we're taking a look at footage of the main site again from Friday.
So I encourage you to, I'll link his YouTube channel, and I encourage you to go over there and you can watch the progress of Tesla building its Gigafactory in Texas. Let me take a quick jaunt over to Ars Technica, where they have an article saying that Hyundai will be announcing their new Ioniq line of electric vehicles. There's not a lot of information here. You're probably looking at the standard type of stuff. We're looking at a 300-mile battery. When we get a bigger, more detailed article on the Hyundai Ioniq, I'll talk about it more. But if you want to look at it a little bit right here, you can jump over to Ars Technica. And as always, I'll be linking all these articles in the description. So as the Volkswagen ID.3 is getting closer to release, the CEO of Volkswagen has been taking it for a drive, and they've got about 150 of them out for employees to test drive. As you know, this car had some very serious software issues that delayed the release of the car because I guess the entire vehicle software system was buggy. So this is the ramp up to Volkswagen making its promise after Dieselgate of rolling out lots and lots of electric vehicles. The ID.3 is probably looking at a 58 kilowatt battery and about 200 horsepower, so that's very much akin, a little bit behind the Chevrolet Bolt, which now has a 66 kilowatt battery, although since it's a more modern car, it can DC fast charge at a faster rate. So we'll be seeing this car sometime next year. A little bit more information is beginning to trickle out on the GMC Hummer, and there's an article over at Green Car Report that just goes over this, and they were teasing the 0 to 60 of 3 seconds adrenaline mode, and there's an off-road mode, and they're still saying that they are on track to release the truck in the fall of 2021. Of course, it's been delayed a little bit, as just about everything has been delayed because of the COVID pandemic. But if you're looking for more information on the electric Hummer, jump over to Green Car Reports. Last article I want to talk about today is the Cadillac Lyriq. So we're looking at a crossover SUV with a 300-mile range. GM is confirming a late calendar year 2022 release of the vehicle. And I don't want to go through all the details here, but the thing that really struck me as I went through this article is just how gorgeous this interior is, with this one extended long screen that just flows from one side to the other. This, to me, is just gorgeous. I mean, here's some bigger pictures. You can get a look at that, and it just oozes sophistication. I'm not sure what it is, but it really grabs me. Here's another view, and I definitely like having a cluster dead in front of me rather than off to the side. It just seems more normal. Now, the surprising thing with the Cadillac is, I read it right down here towards the bottom. Let me see if I can find this. Of course, let me pause and find it. Of course, the reason I couldn't find the cost is because I actually read it in a different article. Here's an article at Auto Week that actually talks about the cost, that the Lyriq will start below $60,000. So if you're looking at a luxury crossover SUV, this could be a great deal compared to $80,000 or $100,000 for a Tesla Model X. So we'll follow this. And that is all I have for this week's EV news. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me feedback and subscribe if you'd like to be notified in 2 weeks when I do the next one. Thanks a lot. Take care.